you going to do a card with Rob? Are you thinking that we have enough time for that?
You tell me.
Well, why don't you ask him if he'd like to pick a random card?
It's just a rando card.
If you had to write a book about your greatest passion, what would it be about?
Well, I feel like you just gave a whole podcast episode about.
Yeah, and I would probably roll back to the legacy.
Yeah.
The legacy thing, I didn't get it first.
Yeah.
95, 96. And again, at that point, I was just
Young.
whatever it took. Let's
Yeah.
make feeding kids, wife.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Let's do what we can do.
Yeah.
I really started to evolve in probably 2000, 01, 02, 03, kind of getting this, mainly because I had enough traction at that point too, that I was getting serve enough people, treat enough people right, get enough reviews. And that's when I'm starting to see the evolution of your kids call me.
Yes.
Your dad call me. Your best friend call. That's where I really caught up with the legacy piece of it. And only because
awesome.
I don't think enough people get your legacy is 20 years from when you do it or 30. Yeah. And looking back at it, you really can't make it. Yeah. It's going to be what it is. And I think, and I know some people in my industry where I look at it and I'm always one, I won't even say his name. I said, you keep resetting your legacy. Bumps in the road. You know, just do things right and it'll be what it is. And I don't know what my final piece of my legacy is, but I feel comfortable enough that where I'm at, that I think I've built what I would hope that I would have looking back 20 years ago.
Oh my gosh. It kind of makes me teary-eyed, Rob.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And
That
I don't
really
know if
is
that's
amazing.
a passion, but I think that's
That's a good thing to write a book
I was gonna
about
say, if
because
you
you
gotta
can help a
focus on
lot of
something,
people.
That's a good thing to focus
right
on.
on. Just what you want people to look back at.
Yeah.
So.
So good.
Hello and welcome yet to another episode of Living Well Together.
Big life in a small town.
Here we go.
Yeah.
We are so loving this. This is going to be a good episode.
I know. We're so looking forward to this.
I'm stoked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Been thinking about it all
This
week.
is our amazing friend, Rob Wolfe.
I wish your page was going to join you.
I asked her on the way out, said, sure you don't want to go? Sit right there.
Yes,
I'm going to queue you up a couple times anyway. And
Right.
I think she took Merle and down the street they went.
She had a day. She was ready to go home, put her feet up.
I could kind of tell that when I walked in.
Yeah.
So
It had been a day. Well, we've known Rob for 30.
Probably 30.
30 years at least, since we've been in town. And you're a Fairborn guy, right? Born and raised.
born and raised.
Go ahead, tell us your story. We'll connect the dots along the way.
That'll be easy. But again, born and raised and grew up here. Still live in Fairborn and kind of migrated kind of a Beaver Creek Township side, but we're still very much Fairborn. And parents, obviously Fairborn, families Fairborn, and never had a reason to go, and only because of family. It was kind of one of those things. But I've enjoyed living here, and we like being here. We love where we live. Lived in current house for 20 years.
That's
No plans
fantastic.
on going anywhere
You
anytime
guys are
soon.
doing a big reno right now. Like you're in the middle of modification.
Master bath reno, which I was stoked to hear hey, we're going to be done Friday. Oh, wait, but we're still got to template the glass, and that takes 3 weeks. So we'll get to look at it for 3 weeks and not use it. Well, at least
put
not
up a
with
you're
all of it.
close.
I
You're
could
so
just put up a
Yeah.
temporary shower curtain.
Well, Paige said that, and I said, you know what? I'd be the one to put up the temporary curtain, accidentally leak something down underneath, and the whole warranty would be gone for, you know what I mean?
I do.
For life. But so I don't think we're going to do that. But I do know the toilet's going to be set and the sinks are going to work. So I
Okay.
do plan to shave and brush.
Okay.
Maybe use, whatever. I plan on using, just not
nothing except for
showering.
the shower,
Right.
yeah.
But hopefully by the end of March, we're
that's
going to be
so
complete.
good.
It's been great project, great company helping us do it.
Who was the company?
It was Mock out of Tip City.
Okay.
MAUK, Mock?
MAUK.
Yeah.
Yes. Jenny Boney, who we've known since high school.
Oh, wow.
Know her husband Doug well.
It's their company?
She is, well,
the
no, she
designer?
works there.
Okay.
And she's ramrodded from day one. Oddly, the contractor that came, Tom Palisic, I went to school with. So when he walked in the first day, I was like, this is going to be easy. Here's the garage code.
Yeah.
And because we knew each other, not maybe lifelong friends.
That's so
One
awesome.
of the joys of small town living.
It really is.
The connections
And
that you get to make over the
they've
course
been
of time.
awesome. The contractors have been great. have not batted an eye at them coming and going,
I love
and
that.
because we don't care.
No
We just told
silverware's missing. Your bourbon's not draining.
yeah, I didn't have to hide all the watches and hats and things that I didn't want to do. But anyway, no, they've been great. It's
so
been a great project.
Wonderful when you can work on a project and trust the people that stay on track,
Right.
stay in budget.
Well, if you
all
can just
those
get
things,
people
yeah.
to do what
Show
they
up.
said they're going to do, show up when they
Yeah.
said, show up sober.
Yeah.
Well, and it's been A to Z.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
love
been
that.
exactly what they said. Communication's been great. Hey, we don't think we're going to make it tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave you a heads up. It wasn't
Yep.
like it was a no-show.
Going to be here Friday.
Yeah.
Might be here Saturday.
fantastic.
We're like, Saturday's cool too, because the more Saturdays you
Yeah.
come, the sooner you're going to complete the project.
Yep.
Well, this is making
we
me
got yesterday
excited.
countertops was very exciting.
Yeah.
And so that's really, now when you look in there, you're kind of like, okay, now I'm getting it. Floor's done, shower's done, countertops,
Paint's rolled.
paint is done.
Nice.
We really, at this point, I think they were trimming today, and I ran in and ran out, so I didn't get to see it. But it's been,
Yeah.
and I'm knocking on wood.
Yeah.
Well, you're just right there.
We're-
Like you're at the
I
finish
think
line.
we're beyond hiccup window other than,
Yes.
the glass is going to take till June.
Yeah.
Okay, that might, I may jinx it by saying that, but,
Yeah. No.
and if it did, there's nothing they
Yeah.
can do about it.
Exactly.
So we try not to lose sleep over
I know.
what we
That's
don't
so
control.
smart.
And I don't control when they put it in. So, and I don't have to
true.
write the check till they're done.
I was going to say, as long as you have
So,
prepaid.
Yeah, so I'm going to be good till
Well,
the end.
we have a
but-
master bath that we need to do too, so we're going to need that information if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, I will.
That would be
And,
great. Yeah.
100% happy with
Yeah,
the complete
what they've
process there.
Cool.
So you raised your kids in Fairborn too. They went to Fairborn High School just like you and Paige did.
No, and
Okay.
they went to Fairborn.
Okay.
But when we moved from Fairborn to Fairborn, where we moved was Beaver Creek Township.
Oh,
It's so weird. Well,
so
they
that put them in
it's-
Beaver Creek schools?
It's amazing because
Oh, wow.
you know
It's a
I
Fairborn
live
address.
3 minutes from
Yes,
this
right
office.
here.
Right.
Paige drives it every day.
Yeah.
I'm actually closer here than I was in Rona Hills
Right?
That is
to
wild.
Fairborn High School and all that, and our kids went to Beaver Creek from 6th and 4th on.
Okay.
That isn't why we moved.
No.
We loved the house. We
I was going to
moved.
say, it's a great
We
neighborhood.
wanted something newer
Yeah.
without building. We built a house, bought a house that was 6 years old at the time.
That's perfect.
Never wanted to build.
Yeah.
Never wanted to be the first to flush and all that. Only because that first year,
Yeah.
I've seen too many horror stories.
Yeah.
And so that's how we still live in Fairborn, but the kids didn't go
Yeah.
to Fairborn. So,
So 2 boys.
Got it.
And now you are a
3-time grandpap.
grandpa. Yeah.
Is that what they call you, Grandpap?
Pappy, like
Pappy?
Van Winkle.
Oh, I love that.
If you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So, and Paige
You know,
is Pay.
Oh, that's
And,
perfect.
yeah, so we get
So
to, it's funny because we'll roll in and usually it's, hey, Pap, where's Pay?
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
well, she's parking the car, whatever. You know, I'm good that I'm there, but it's they're always on, where's the Pay plan?
Mm.
But no, bless there, Rise 9, Leland 2,
Mm-hmm.
and Griff is 10 months going on 4 years.
Oh
He's
my
a
gosh.
beast.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
he's a buster.
He's a big boy.
You could throw him like a football, and he'd get up and yeah. So
And you guys were at lacrosse games this weekend, right?
yeah, Sunday was actually beautiful.
It was
Okay.
gorgeous here.
11 a.m. out. It was 60 degrees, sun in the face, burned.
It's
Wish I'd have had shorts on.
Yeah.
Bri played a great lacrosse game. It's a
Yeah.
new sport for him.
Is it this year's his first season?
Yeah, doing
Oh,
that
that's
instead of
awesome.
baseball, which you know we're big baseball people,
Right.
so we were kind of like, what? But it was a new game for me to
Yeah.
catch the rules. I kept saying, "No, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Is that a scrum?"
It's kind of a combination between hockey, soccer, and
Hockey and soccer.
maniacal stickball.
It is
Field
it's,
hockey.
You can
Yeah.
run
Field
after
hockey,
the guy
hockey,
and be
yeah.
whacking him from
Yes.
behind and
Yeah.
trying to, which
It's
I wish
very
we'd have had
aggressive
it when
in a
I was
way.
a kid. I think I would have played,
Yeah.
and because we played soccer throughout, and I burnt both kids out on soccer by the time they were 11. I think Tanner started at 3
Okay.
at the Y, and it was too much.
Yeah.
And we know that now. At the time, we were disappointed.
Yeah.
But both sport kids, and
They played baseball though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ton of baseball.
Ton of
You
baseball.
guys spend a ton of time in the baseball
yeah,
park.
still very sporty.
Yeah.
So yeah, Harrison's 31, Tanner's 20. Forgive me, 28.
Recently
29.
married though. He had the killer wedding of the
Oh my
century.
gosh, it
Oh.
was so
We got
much
to travel.
fun. It was a cruise. It was a what would you call it? A cruise ship
It
wedding?
was, yeah, the Catalina,
Yeah.
Carolina Girl
Carolina
was the,
Girl. Oh, it was
the
so
boat
pretty.
that left
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
the dock on November 4th, and the weather couldn't have been better.
Oh my
Perfect
Could it-
day.
That sunset. We should actually put up a sunset picture.
I've had so many people
Actually, we
ask
can
me
put
about
some
those
wedding
pictures.
pictures up.
Everybody's like, "What'd you do to that picture?" I was like, "Dude, all of those
nothing.
pictures of that evening
Yep.
on the water
Yeah.
were just iPhone 13 or whatever
on.
at the time."
Right. Yeah.
And Graham can blend them in. We'll make sure we got them.
Yeah, we'll get a couple of pictures.
Yeah,
'Cause that
it
really
was-
Of the
extraordinary.
newlyweds as well.
Dynamite.
They were glowing.
It was fun.
And Paige and Rob.
Yeah. And we were stoked. We were stoked that you guys could come. Caitlin made it,
It's
obviously.
so fun. Yeah.
So it was a
amazing.
good group of friends, family. It was a tight knit group
Yeah.
of about 60, and it
perfect.
was the perfect size. And
It was.
yeah,
It was just so intimate. and
again,
you could
another
tell.
weekend without a hitch.
Yeah.
The whole Wednesday
smooth.
to Sunday, no flight issues,
Yeah.
nobody squabbling, which you usually will get.
It didn't feel like there was any drama at all. Like we weren't on the inside, but from what we could tell from the outside, it seemed like it was just smooth as silk.
Right. And I think well planned. It was a 2-year engagement, and I think
Yeah.
sometimes to try to do the 9-month thing is so
Yeah.
tedious. And I believe they were ready a year and a half in, and so the rest seemed kind of
Yeah.
seamless
Yeah.
at that point. The accommodations, obviously, you guys were there. It was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, it was
We
delightful.
couldn't have been served any better, and I'm
So amazing.
big service.
Yeah.
bug.
Yeah, if you went away hungry, it was your own fault.
It,
Yeah,
absolutely.
sure.
From
Yeah.
the
Beautiful
cocktail
buffet.
Friday night,
Yeah.
you guys, I think, were still coming that night.
Yeah, we
it
were-
was on
we were
our
in
way.
transit.
But
yeah, we were coming from Miami.
that was that went as perfect as the wedding. It,
Yeah.
it was amazing. So yeah,
incredible.
we're just all blessed with.
Yeah.
It is. It's just so cool. Well, I want to talk a little bit about what you do in your 9 to 5, which is really probably 7 to 7 or 8.
Well, the last year and a half, it's been more 10 to 2. I'm just being funny, and I say that because the market's just slowed so much.
Right.
But
Yeah.
as a career, pretty much it's a 7 to whenever
Yeah.
kind of thing, and
And
that's a
you're
7
always
a.m.,
there.
not a p.
So, what brought you to mortgage lending?
To be honest, I worked for, oddly, you remember the Fairborn Daily Herald?
For sure.
Which was Miami Valley Publishing, which
Right.
became Transcontinental Printing as it grew into
Wow.
an international company.
Yeah.
Started there when I was 10, delivering papers.
Oh my
So I
gosh,
was on
Rob.
the payroll from the time 1975. Worked there part-time during high school, and we did the GLE, which they don't call it that anymore, but we called it Go Leave Early. I don't think it stood for that. Guided Learning Experience, I
Got
think
it.
was what it really was. And so we went to school for 3 or 4 classes. And
Yeah.
I went to
Okay.
Baker for my first 3 years, and then the schools combined my graduation year.
Okay.
Which was cool because we knew everybody from
Yeah.
the Park Hill side from playing soccer.
Sure.
And so it was actually a lot of fun that the schools combined.
Yeah. Because then you're
And,
all just one big party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was never the college guy other than maybe in a level of Van Wilder, maybe
Right.
with a version of Tommy Boy in there. So it was,
not
you know,
for
a
everybody.
lot of full-time work in there while kind of deciding what to do. And really what got me into mortgage was seeing every year that I was my 3% increase that I was going to get every year. I did inventory control. Also, I really loved the job I had at the end because I was a bulk paper buyer.
Okay.
So I bought the giant rolls where you printed 16 million of the Kroger ad on printing presses that ran for 7 days, 24/7.
Wow.
And I got to buy that internationally. So I think what dialed me in for my career where I'm at now is that calculation. If you can think about running 5 rolls short after
Oh my
a 7-day run or having 17 rolls too many
Yes.
at $30,000 a roll of paper.
Holy cow.
So it was really kind of what got me, I would say, as systematic and OCD as I am, because I don't think I was before.
So the precision buying was so important.
Right.
Okay.
And that was kind of
yeah.
what I did there. But again, as I got into that 94, 95, 96, I got my real estate license in 92.
Okay.
And only because I wanted something different.
Mm-hmm.
In 95, I came home and announced to Paige, which we had a 3 and a 1-year-old, that I was venturing out to real estate. Because
Okay.
it's pure commission. I can
Yes.
make what I work. Well,
Yeah.
right now I'm working and working and working.
Yeah.
And I get the same check. And next
Right.
year I'm going to get 3% more in that check.
Yep.
She's like, okay. So in 96-ish, 95, 96, I was doing real estate, but also got into mortgage.
Okay.
So now I've got a 4 and a 2-year-old. Now I'm never home.
Oh.
So I'm either writing loans or I'm either selling real estate.
Yeah. Showing houses.
Not yet even making what money I was making when she gave me the leap of faith of, I trust you.
Yep.
Let's go do this
Paige is
thing.
amazing.
She is. And she gets a huge award for the 90s and into early 2000s on top of the award she gets now. And so I finally just quit doing the real estate,
Yeah.
started doing the mortgage. And I'm glad I chose that path. It's kind of my thing. Dollars, cents, money. I've preached to the kids forever, math and science. You know, get your foundations of comp in there too in high
Yeah.
school, but get your math and science and you can
Yeah.
do anything. And I honestly believe that.
I believe that too.
And I think that's where I was able to grow into what I've been able to do now.
Yeah.
And I think I'm 15 years decorated in Chairman Circle
Yeah.
type President Club
That's
awards.
what I was going to ask you. What kind of awards? I know you and Paige take these amazing trips almost every year, and you know you have a lot of accolades around you.
Right.
And I'm just wondering what like they're called.
It really, and they call it power producers. At
Okay.
least they do it Prime. But when
Uh-huh.
I was at Countrywide, when I was at Bank of America, we had those as well. I never set out to go, I want to be an award. I don't, the trophy. I want the trophy on the wall.
Yeah.
When you had a 3 and a 5-year-old,
Yes.
the theory was to make money.
You got food on the table.
The more money we make, the more things we can do. So one thing really kind of leads to the other.
Yeah.
My goal every year is to do more than I did the year before.
I love that.
I'm an
Yeah.
easy game plan with a branch manager because I don't have a goal of 200 units.
Yeah.
I probably averaged in my career 150 to 200 loans a year since 2001,
Okay.
kind of in that window.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less in 22 and 23. 23 was kind of a wake up year, but we've had enough of those wake up years that we've learned how to navigate.
You've seen peaks and
that
valleys.
it's not like
everywhere.
it was.
Right.
Maybe one less,
Yeah.
Key West this year.
Yeah.
One less
Yeah.
dinner out, that kind of thing.
Right.
But it doesn't really, we've gotten used to how to navigate it.
Sure. So is it like every other industry where it's just a pendulum swing? It's like goes up, comes back down.
It really
goes
is.
the
Now,
other
the last
direction?
pendulum up was beautiful because
Yeah.
after the meltdown
year
in
was that?
08 through 10,
Okay.
as we all know, anybody that owned at that time, as you
gosh.
did too, our values kind of went sideways.
Yeah.
Getting loans was difficult.
Sure.
That 3-year window was a test to, are we in the right business? And I still say, and I'm really appreciate people that I know that have been in the business since
Yeah.
5, 6, 02, 1999.
Yeah.
Because anybody that survived 08 through 10 and is still strong and doing
Yeah.
it now, if you survived that, 11 through 21
Yeah.
was a stellar
Like
10
you
years.
could basically print your own money.
And really from 18.
10 years?
Really after the fall of 18, there was a
wild.
blip in 18 where rates went kind of crazy. 19, 20, you think during COVID would have been just
Yeah.
horrible?
Yeah.
Well, rates were 2.5. So rates saved the day that people were still buying.
Yeah.
We were still considered a vital industry. So we weren't shut down, even
Yeah.
though we were all working at home, which was a new thing for me. Never been able to do the work at home.
Yeah.
Now I can't hardly shift it back.
I think that's common.
I
think
like
there's a
the
ton of
more
people
at
in that
home
game.
than in. But now we're also renting space at the Green, and
Yeah.
we don't need
They have a really fabulous location.
7,000 square feet for the 2 or 3 of us that come in each day, or hodgepodge of people in and out.
So is that where you work with your clients? Is that the Green though? Because they don't
No,
come to your house.
it's
do they?
actually the whole world became so virtual. It was already headed virtual, 19 and 20, and now it's click my apply now. Put in your name, put in your
Got
social,
it.
put in your birthday, put in your where you work.
Okay.
It's so easy to, and we tell people we will still meet, and I'd say maybe once every other month, somebody will say, we'd really like to just hook up. Cool, pick the time. I'm at the Green. We've got a great office at the Green. We have looks down Main Street at the Green, a giant,
beautiful.
I really love our office.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind meeting people in person. It's usually a 2-hour window with a pre-approval over the digital, 15 minutes. Because it's very impersonal, but it's easy to convey.
So seriously, from click in to ready to have all the paperwork that you need, it's 15 minutes?
For me. Streamlined
Well,
process.
I will say, I've seen you take phone calls on
Right.
the golf course. I've seen you take phone calls in the middle of whatever is going on, with the exception of the boys' weddings. But you've got a brain for data and statistics and trivia, and like you're talking about 2018. I don't remember what I had for dinner 2 nights ago, and you're talking about what happened in 2018. But your mind for the game and your spirit for competition is everything in the game you're in.
Yeah.
And customer service, I never hesitate to send people your way, because I know you're going to do whatever it takes to make the job happen. Or if you know it's not going to happen, you're also very good at letting them know you're not the man.
Right. I
For that
appreciate that
particular
too. I mean, that's the ultimate compliment is a referral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whether it's from friends or family,
Yeah.
business partners, prior clients is obviously the ultimate referral, because
Yeah.
you did something right
Yeah.
to get there. You might have gotten an average survey, because nobody gets that anything less than all 10s is not a good survey.
Right.
When there's no comment,
Yes.
Right.
It's not a good survey.
know
You know,
it.
hey, you gave me all 10. Could
But
you
you
not
can-
have typed
Yeah,
this guy
it's
walked
one
on
made it a
water?
10.
You know, something, you know, and mainly because there's so much more validity, whether it's Google
For
reviews
sure. Everybody
or
wants to
internal.
read it. Yeah. It makes it
You know,
more
and
meaningful.
but yeah, the thrill of the kill, I still have.
100%.
Once I lose that, I will probably my team structure, because I have a wonderful team. My Darla Turner, who's my production assistant, walks on water. Daryl's been on my team for 15 years. Max has been on my team for some time now. Max is the next real deal too. That's on my team. I could see it evolving to where I become more of a support.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm still motivated by numbers. I'm still motivated, and not by financial numbers, but I just want to be on the, you know, I still have that kill on the list.
But you have that servant heart too. You want to make sure that every client that you talk to is getting
Well, and that's
everything
the
that
other
they
thing
need.
I've seen out of you is you've mentored a handful of young people to kind of replace yourself, right? Like I've seen you take guys either right out of college or shortly, you know, still in college, and groom them in a way that says you'll see something in them that you know they have what it takes, and you've taken them under your wing. I've seen that 2 or 3 times. So, and that serves the industry, that serves you, that serves people that'll need what you do in the future. Kind of cool to watch.
It is. And actually, we chatted a little bit earlier, and I would love to know like your favorite story with a lending situation.
And I thought about that.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a ton of them.
Well, and it's so hard to have a story,
Yeah.
and only because, again, when you're doing 150 to 200 loans a
Yes.
year, I'm going into 29th year. So let's just round it to 30
Sure.
and do the math. I mean, it's 45 to 5,000 loans.
Yeah.
Now, again, beautifully, there's a portion of those that are repeats. I think my biggest repeat is 6 times
Wow.
for
Whoa.
the same person. And those were moves, not because they bought investment properties. It's hard to pick a story. I think the ultimate story is, though, when I do the kids of the people.
Generational.
And I have a lead coming in right now. I won't say who gave it. They're
Yeah.
doing an online app.
Yeah.
My parents used you 2 different times,
Oh my gosh. Rob.
and they said to get with you. And obviously, it's pre-approval, so it's going to be, the credit may be horrible. We don't know yet. We're going to look into all of the things.
Sure.
And if it is, the key is that the structure of what I do, and same thing with what you do. Not all the service is the same. Not everybody can buy today. So when you get that call, there's a lot of originators that are like, oh, 5, 10 credit. Okay, we're golfing today and out the door. But if you go back to those people,
Yeah.
those people are going to buy next year.
Yeah.
Yep.
As soon as
And
that's better, right?
Again, when you're first starting out, you really don't get that. And I was the same way as everybody starting out.
Hustle.
I'd do any loan with anybody, anywhere.
Right.
Now I'm blessed to where most of the business that I do, especially with my core agents, are cultural fits. They're people that I like. They're people that like me organically. I've gotten to know the wives and husbands.
Yeah.
I know the kids, what the kids do. And not because I set out and said, hey, I got to really get to know Lisa,
Yeah.
Doc's wife. You know,
Yeah.
Tyler, one of my great agents, and his wife, Jess, gotten to know. When we go to concerts and do
Right,
things like
right.
that, that all happens organically.
Yeah.
Because if it happens not organically, it doesn't last long, and you don't look back, and it's not really part of your legacy of the people that you kind of structured. And I think probably, and I use that term a lot with people I talk to, your legacy is your big piece that you can't sell, you can't make. My legacy 28, 29 years in is what it is at this point.
Yeah.
And either that's he's horrible, don't call that guy, he doesn't call you back on the weekends,
Yeah.
or he calls you back on Friday night at 5 o'clock, he puts your deal together on Sunday at 2. And there's a level of service that goes with that. There's also some pressure that goes with that kind of legacy.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you don't want to fail on the person that said
Yeah.
A plus and somebody gets a B minus out of what they were expecting, because now the referral source is the issue.
But that's part of, and some of that you can't coach. I mean, you can tell some of these young kids, hey, here's how you do this and here's why you do it that way. But that's either an intrinsic core value thing for a person or it just isn't.
Right.
The quality of the relationship is always going to be dictated by the willingness of people to just serve. You're just providing good service, knowing that that's what they need. And that's how you get, everybody gets what they need in that exchange. And like I said, I don't know that you can coach that. That's, you either got that or you don't.
Right.
Yeah. No, it really is true. Are there any common misconceptions that people have about obtaining a mortgage? Like, do they think it's just too hard, or if their credit is low, are they just out
The
of luck?
biggest misconception is that no one, I won't say no one, I mean, you've bought 3 homes in your life.
Right.
So are you good at it? maybe better than somebody that's never bought, but you're probably not good at it. One home in your life, two. Okay, so you bought 2 homes. So the biggest misconception is, what's your rate today? I don't know. What rate do you want? Wait, is it that easy? It is. What rate do you? If all your shopping is rate, I'm your guy. What rate do you want?
Okay.
You need to know about the fee. And the reason I say I'm your guy is because I'm going to say, wait, let's back up. I'm going to teach you how to shop. If you're going to shop me, I'm going to teach you how to shop. Because there's way more to it than rate.
Okay.
What's the lowest rate you've heard? 6 3/4. I'm 6.5. Wow. I just got your deal, didn't I? What? Well, I'm a quarter better than everybody else. Did I just get your deal?
Yeah.
And I said, and they know where I'm going. I didn't because I haven't shown you the fees yet, where it's 12 grand closing costs when it should be 6.
Right.
I'm going to teach you how to shop. And now you're probably going to shop me.
Okay.
I'm going to win 9 out of 10 of those because I'm going to teach you the difference. And I'm going to also teach you through all that process that if I'm an 8th higher today in the rate, I'm worth every penny of it.
Right.
Yep.
Because of the process. So probably the biggest misconception.
It's not just rate. There's what other things should they be looking at?
Service is the biggest key.
Service, yep.
Because the best rate in the world that doesn't close gets you what?
0.
I should
you
have
lose your
used
house.
the loudmouth 5'4" guy over there at Prime because he knew what he was talking. And there's so many people that we've talked to in our careers and the realtors that go, yeah, they wish they'd have stuck.
Yeah.
Because some people just go.
Yeah.
You know, you get online and you see, rates are 6 1/4 today.
Right.
Well, they're not.
Yeah.
But that's what the rate says. So, and oddly, the thing that always drives me nuts is that the biggest purchase of your life, the biggest amount of money you're ever going to spend, that in your mind, the cheapest is the best.
Right.
What kind of car you drive, and you don't have to answer. It's rhetorical. You drive the car you drive, which is more, and so is mine, than this car.
Yeah.
Because it's better. And I paid more because it's better, and I drive it every day because it's better, and it really is better. So now I'm not saying if I'm 10 grand and somebody's 3 grand that I'm 7 grand better.
Yeah.
I'm just out of the market at that point.
Right.
But when it's all, so answering your original question,
Yes.
and I didn't mean to Paul
No,
argue
that's okay.
that.
No.
The
Because
biggest
I really was
misconception
curious.
is how to shop, because most consumers don't know how to shop for a mortgage because all they dial in on is what's the rate.
Yeah.
And that's why my answer is always, what rate do you want?
So it's good for them to be looking for somebody that's going to educate them like you are.
Right. And I think in this market, we've really found in the last 24 months, local lending is huge.
Yes.
And because local lending and seasoned people, and I have a lot of lenders in my industry that I'm great friends with, other companies. We compare notes all the time.
Yeah.
You know some of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Compare notes weekly.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your rate today? Oh, really? You're better than me? Oh, and we're all digging in because we want to be competitive.
Sure.
Of course.
So we're digging in and doing homework ahead of, okay, well, I know so-and-so is this and so-and-so is that. I can get other rates online and look at what rates are. But the biggest thing that you can't convince somebody on a first meeting is how much better you are than everybody else.
Right.
Other than if it has to do with the interest rate, because that's all anybody dials into. So
It's like dating.
So
You get
this-
a certain reputation.
Yeah.
And but you're not going to ask somebody to marry you on the first date necessarily. So they need to do some homework, not just on the rate, but on the guy or the gal that's behind the rate.
right.
100%.
But that brings up another question that I have for you. Like when you get together with your real estate agents and your other lenders, like what are the hot topics and trends that you guys, dive into? Is it all about the rates, or are there other
it's
things
really
that
it's usually market condition.
Okay, market
the biggest
condition.
market condition issues now the last 18 months is inventory.
Yeah, because there's
Not
no
enough
houses,
on the market,
right?
and
Yeah,
mainly because I have a rate of 2 7/8.
yeah,
Why would you change?
Why would I go to a rate of 7% today?
right.
Right.
Unless, again, and the answers are, I need to downsize because I now have a 4-bed, 3-bed house, 3-car garage, and the kids are gone.
Brand new
Okay.
bathroom.
Well, I'm going to wait till rates come down.
Right.
Okay. Well, while you're waiting on rates to come down, if you looked at appreciation the last 36 months, which has been absurd.
Absurd.
The average, maybe
Yeah.
8. It's normally 2 to 3.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's what did you lose when you didn't
By
take
waiting.
the 7 or 8 rate
Yeah.
that you know you're going to refi down to 3 or 4 or 5 when the cycle hits again?
Yeah.
You've lost all that potential of appreciation.
Yeah.
Because it was so nearsighted on, the rates are high. Rate shock is over. A year ago,
Okay.
rate shock kind of went away. I would say by April, May, maybe June of last year. So we're going almost to a year where nobody's shocked now that rates are 6 or 7.
Sure.
It used to be that the shock was the price of the house, right? And because the rates were low.
Right.
But the houses had appreciated so much. And now it's kind of like, well, this is coming down a little bit while that has gone up a little bit. So it's really just, I mean, I feel like it's kind of...
It's been a double
It's kind
whammy
of a
for your
wash.
buyer wanting
Yeah.
to buy.
Yeah.
And only because to give you easy money, money is $3 a thousand more now than it was in 2020.
Okay.
So 100 grand is 300 more a payment per 100 grand.
Wow.
So if you buy a $300,000 house, that payment is $1,000 a month more than it was in June of 2020. I get it,
Yeah.
but you're also not going to stay in that loan. No different than I bought in 90 at 10 3/4. Paige and I's first house. We weren't even married yet.
Yeah.
We refinanced at 7.5 and 93. Thought we'd found, you
So
know,
people can get into these mortgages, but then they're going to know in a couple of years they're just going to drop down
if
again.
you follow history. And
If
again,
you follow
because I
history,
can't claim
okay.
that 2026 is
no,
the next
we're not
refi
doing any
boom.
predictions. Yeah.
But if you look at history, your ebb and flow is 3 to 5 years.
So
We're-
right now
we're
people
2
are not
plus into this
refinancing.
market.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it is 3, we're coming close.
Yeah.
If it's 5, we're only 2 to 3 years left. We're not really 5 years from the window. And that's, again, if you look at history
Yeah.
and just look at the flow.
Does
Yeah.
it follow an election cycle? Does politics in the industry matter?
Well, there'll be some politics come into it because your Fed's going to move a certain way. Your 10-year Treasury is obviously affected
Right.
by the Fed, the stock markets and things that Jay Powell does on a regular basis, even though somebody would say it's not politically driven.
Yeah.
And whether you're Democrat, Republican, or whatever you
100%.
are, it has nothing to do with who you like and who you don't like. It's the reality of no one wants to hiccup between now and November.
Right.
And so you're
So
going to get
true.
more caution than you might get. These are my opinions.
Right.
You're not going to get so much of an aggressive Fed. You know, the other thing is the markets in general. The Fed came out at the end of December and said, we're going to probably move 3/4 of a point next year, meaning the Fed's going to come down. Your car loan's going to get cheaper. Your equity line's going to lower.
Yeah.
The 10-year Treasury is probably going to move in that window, but rates are going to improve. Well, the market automatically built in 1.5% instead of 3/4. What? So in June this year, when we haven't moved yet, the market's going to explode like it always does and go, oh, we built in 1.5. That didn't make any sense because Powell said 3/4. Anyway, these are the kind of things that kind of
Yeah.
in our industry drive you nuts because it just changes so many things.
For sure.
Um,
And it's
you
always
know,
moving, and it's something that you
right.
also don't have
And your
control
short-term
over.
rates aren't long-term rates.
Yeah.
So the Fed moves a quarter tomorrow, rates don't drop a quarter on the mortgage I'm
Right.
giving you. It might actually go up because of what else it does to the
Interesting.
market.
Yeah.
It's just the trends, and there's so many things that go into the long-term,
Yeah.
the rates. But the Fed coming down makes life easier
Okay.
because your car loan got cheaper, your credit cards drop, your
Right.
equity line in your home, which is
gives them
based on
more
prime,
wiggle room.
goes down. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's amazing. I love hearing those numbers. I can't keep up with you, but I
As
love
said,
hearing
he's
them.
got an extraordinary brain. Well, Rob and I were golf partners.
Yes,
we have a
right,
winter
right.
golf league. Graham has set his garage up for our indoor golfing
so
league.
fun.
So we've got, a launch monitor and all the stats and all the data, but we also cycle through each week and play around to golf against how many other teams?
They're 8 this year, 7
Yeah.
others.
And so, but every week we come into the garage and Rob knows the numbers. We got to score this many points. We got to
for
have this
you
many
guys,
shots. Yeah,
for
and
in
I'm
the
in the
league.
don't care
Okay.
club. I'm like, don't
He's
tell
like, I
me.
didn't even see the email.
Yeah,
And I'm
like I don't want to know. I got to shoot a 38. I don't want to know that. I just want to play good golf. Well, but if we do this, we get 2 more points, and if they get 6 points, we
Well,
got
he's just being strategic. He's just helping you out.
Like
yeah.
I said, he's got an extraordinary
So
mind.
he uses that strategy, that strategic mind of his in his business, but also in
every other
yeah,
aspect of
in
living.
fun.
He knows more rock and roll trivia than any person I've ever met.
80s, 90s.
80s, 90s, yeah.
Well, it goes. I mean, you.
What's
got
your
a
favorite
lot.
band? Can you even pick?
Genre by genre. Favorite hard metal, heavy metal.
I'm still a big metal guy, which
Okay.
is completely crazy. I also like country though, not the twang and bang in
You've
country.
you've kind of slid into some country.
Played some Darius and some other
Yes,
stuff
yes,
we had
yes.
going.
Well, you guys had tickets to the Rose. Your seasonal
Uh-huh.
music experience has
Right.
exposed you to. You've become more.
I do see a lot more. I would say I'm an 80s, 90s metal guy.
Okay.
So that obviously some people won't call me when I tell you I'm a huge Slayer,
Yeah.
Metallica,
Right.
that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I like newer Shinedown.
Sure.
I just look back and you always say about knowing the trivia and knowing all that. I just remember when we used to buy a CD or a cassette, even at that point, and we went home and listened to it till it was ruined and read the liner notes.
Yeah.
So I know when I say, oh, yeah, you remember when Jeff Pilson left the dock and back in what... We know that because we used to, now you download it or whatever. And I like new music. It's
Yeah.
just not as, and I'm still Lamb of God kind of, whatever listening to. In the car, I'm usually not into that because I'm listening to CNBC,
Yeah.
with updates and things like that. But I would say I'm a hard rock.
Yeah.
for
It's
sure
so
if I had to pick a genre.
Aficionado.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
And,
so
and it can tell
all-
you who was drumming on what LP whenever ago from. I mean, it's crazy the numbers that run through there.
So we know who to
data.
call for Trivial Pursuit.
if it's 80s, 90s, you know.
But movies, movie lines. I mean, that's an extraordinary file cabinet you have up there. And I want a mullet picture too.
Oh,
That would be fun.
Well,
Ashley
that's
Page, I'm
back
sure,
in the-
can provide.
From back in the metal days.
actually, the
Yeah.
alternate is wearing a Motorhead shirt, holding a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Just
I think
wait.
you've seen
It'll be here.
the Motorhead shirt. I actually was in shape then too. That I'd be all.
Yeah, sleeves cut
I would
off.
be mortified to wear that shirt today. Actually, if I wore that shirt today, it would stop here like the Tommy Boy California cutoff. So
I
Is
love
there
it.
anything that you'd like our viewers and listeners to know before we go? We're going to already pop in your website, the link for
Right.
them to.
Great.
They'll
yep.
be able to find you easily.
Yeah.
just
Any
based
other
on links from
pointers
the-
that you can think of as they go about their process of finding a mortgage lender?
no, really, the best thing to do is interview lenders.
Okay.
And mainly because if you talk to me and you talk to somebody else, you'll get it. And they
Yeah.
may be
Yeah.
they may be way better than me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that's where I would go too.
Sure.
I'm the same way buying a car, whether it's walk in, see this. I need the top guy because I'm going to devour who's ever here.
Yeah.
I already know what my trade's worth.
Yep.
I'm, oh, hang on, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way with what
See,
I
have
do.
you?
I need to be able to
It's the best way
set
to be.
myself apart.
Yeah.
And if I can't,
Yeah.
then I'm not going to get the deal. I think I get 8 out of 10 of those deals.
Love it.
What I do is
that's
free.
good.
It's the best part. It doesn't cost a dime to jump onto my website and hit my apply now.
Yeah.
Put in your info. If you don't want
Free.
your credit run, you mark
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
We can just have a conversation.
Yeah.
If you're buying and you're already pre-approved with, and I won't give a local bank name.
Yeah.
Great. Call me. We don't have to run credit and do all that. Just tell me what you're getting.
Okay.
I'll look at it. And if it's absurd, dude, that's the deal of the year. If they can give you that,
Got it.
and I do that all the time.
Yep.
Or here's what I can do. Well, then the quandary comes on. Well, I don't really trust you because I've banked at the
Yeah.
credit union for my
sure.
entire life.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
Yeah.
leap of faith at some point.
Absolutely.
I'm more hurt when I don't get, and not hurt like feelings hurt, but my realtor group core. And
Yeah.
I have some agents I've dealt with 15, 16 years.
Wow. Yeah.
My one core group, he would tell you, who's a broker at one of my best companies,
Uh-huh.
10 years, never missed a close date.
Yep.
Those are the service things
Yes.
that shroud,
gosh.
okay, if I'm 7 and an 8 today and this guy's 7,
Yeah.
I'm
I
more
know
than
it's
8.
going to get done.
And I get that it's better to be cheaper. It's just there's a difference. The level of service people just miss when it comes to it. But Ken, the key is you can hit me up. It's free.
I love that.
As you've
Okay.
said,
Yeah.
I answer the phone on Saturdays. I get back to people on
Yes.
Tuesday nights at 8. And in this
Yeah.
market, especially, if you're trying to buy a house and your realtor and your lender aren't working at 8 o'clock on Tuesday
Yeah.
or aren't working on, as Paige, we order DoorDash, Friday night it comes, she's eating it. I'm finishing a pre on a deal that went
Right.
into contract
Wow.
Saturday because of it. We put the loan app together today.
Yeah.
Again, the key was just stopped. They needed the service on the spot, and that's
available.
what we did. And there's times I'm at the Reds game,
Yeah.
and I'm blessed with a team where I
Yeah.
get a hold of Daryl or Max or Darla. Hey, can you get a hold of Terry? Because
love that.
they're looking to move right now, and I'm nowhere that I can do this. The key is it's not an illusion, but I say the illusion of 24/7,
Yeah.
but it's really there, and only because team-wise, there's always somebody available, even if I'm not.
Service is so important to us.
Yep.
And I think as more and more people, get to this age, but even younger, and they're seeing their parents, making that a choice, making good service, excellent service their highest priority. And so I think it's just wonderful.
But try
because
me, and if I'm
you're-
not it,
you're
then
you're
again,
a perfect
I'm-
example.
knock on wood,
nothing
29 years in, I
Yeah.
do enough business that
Yeah.
you don't want to use me, don't.
okay.
I'm also a big culture person.
Yeah.
If you don't think we hit it off because you don't like beard, you don't like my Facebook because I drank bourbon on Saturday night. You know what I mean?
I do. I
put
totally
it
get
out
it.
there because that's who I am. I think I'm really good at what I do.
Yep.
But I also do some crazy stuff that you've been
I don't
at.
know anything about that.
But
I've
you know what I
never-
mean? And that's just those the type of people that I seem to connect
Sure.
with. And
Absolutely.
it's
I love
and
that.
we'll either connect or we won't.
And we think you're absolutely sensational.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm
really
stoked
do.
about being here tonight. It's
Yeah.
so fun.
It's super fun.
So fun.
We should have had bourbon though. If we
I know, you-
If
We
I was
have it.
planning
Should-
ahead, we should have just
I was going to say, it's just right there on the
toasted with the
on your
most.
desk. Yeah. This was really fun.
If you like this kind of thing, what should people do? If we're having any
Smash
fun at
that
all,
subscribe button.
smash it.
That's right.
Go to the site, subscribe, like, share, whatever.
Leave a review or a comment, because I have been messaging back to the people that have been leaving comments. It's super fun to hear. Yeah. I love
awesome.
that.
All right.
Yeah, those
Good.
connections. It's that organic
The
connection
episodes
and
have been
creating
great.
the culture.
I've caught up to all of them. And,
Thank you so much, Rob.
And from the episodes, we've hung out with Adrian
Yes.
twice.
Oh, good.
Then go back to the.
You know,
did you go
and
back?
again,
Yeah.
obviously, you guys introduced us, but at the same time,
No, that's
from watching
fantastic. Yeah.
I went home that night and was like, "Why haven't we been to the Last Queen?" Then you Friday night were like, "Hey, you want to meet us still out?" I'm like, "We do, because I want to check this out." We were there Saturday night, made us a spot at the bar.
Yeah. That's
love his
perfect.
accent on
It's
top of it.
so fantastic. Yeah.
But it was from watching one of these
Thanks, Adrian.
episodes
Yeah.
that we were like, "We're missing something here."
Yeah.
So, and Kirsch and they've all been great.
Yeah.
And when your grandkids have a birthday party, we got a lady who does that, Shelby.
Shelby.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we're working to set up the whole world. That's our job, is to connect the whole world.
Yeah, they've been
Oh
good.
gosh, that's a lot of responsibility, babe. Thank you so much, Rob.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Let's wrap it.
We go.
See you next time.
Oh, bye.
Are you ready?
Yeah. You don't have to clap because we already did the.
So this is where we get real bright, and we take it from where we are now to like up a notch. Up a notch.